Real quick, I want to tell you about a free webinar I'm hosting on April 25th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time called Repurposing Content for Your Podcast. Depending on the guru of the day, you need a podcast, you need to be on TikTok, you need to be posting on LinkedIn, and don't forget your own blog and newsletter. And this can lead to burnout fast. But I'm here to tell you a better way. By repurposing content, there's a reason I'm able to publish 3 podcast episodes per week, 3 newsletters, and post on LinkedIn almost daily. So in this free 60-minute webinar, you will learn how to capture content ideas as easily as possible, how to build your own content flywheel from content you've already created, how to keep track of everything, and how to create a two-way street where you're repurposing for and from your podcast. Sign up for free today at profitablepodcaster.fm/repurpose. If you are struggling to create content, you need this webinar. Again, that URL is profitablepodcaster.fm/repurpose. I want you to imagine that you're asked to light a candle and keep it lit. You also have a box of matches, so this is a pretty easy task, right? Oh, but there's one constraint. You're handcuffed to a bench, and that bench is securely fixed to the ground. The candle is just out of reach. You're trying as hard as you can, but you can't quite get the candle lit. Every time you get close, the match goes out. Now, eventually, someone sees you struggling and throws you one of those long matches, you know, the kind that people use to light their grills. And at last, the candle is lit. For now. But what happens if a breeze comes and blows the candle out? What happens if it rains? Or what if it just goes out on its own? Eventually, you will need to relight that candle. Can you rely on another person with a long match to come by? That's kind of how it feels making money with your podcast sometimes. And the person with the extra long match is the sponsor that came along and helped you out. But it would sure be a lot easier if you weren't handcuffed to that bench, making your only solution reliant on someone else with a long match. Welcome to Make Money Podcasting. Think of this show as the key to those handcuffs. You'll learn that sponsorship isn't the only way to generate income with your show. In fact, it's a good way, but it's not the best way. I'm your host, Joe Casabona, and podcasting saved my business. As I prepared to leave my full-time job, I had a false sense of security for how much work I thought I'd have. Then I launched my first podcast, and to my surprise, it became a great revenue generator. New work, new contacts, and yes, even sponsor money started coming in. Since 2016, I've made over $250,000 through my podcast, which has been downloaded millions of times. And through actionable tips, interviews with industry experts, and updates in the podcasting space, I'll give you everything you need to light that profitable podcast candle and keep it lit. So be sure to subscribe to this show over at makemoneypod.com and stay tuned. The first episode of Make Money Podcasting comes out in early 2022. Once again, that URL is makemoneypod.com.